Government to pay 1 million ex gratia to AMPLIA, LMCS tragedy victims, families and survivor. Prime Minister Young announces plans to meet with Sandals on Monday. Teen suspects held after police high-speed chase. And DPP orders charges against 24-year-old Blackrock man in Tobago's third murder case. Good evening, I am Bianna Brebner. Welcome to the Tobago Updates Television News for Thursday, 3rd April 2025. Now to our top story. Speaking at a post-cabinet press briefing earlier today, Prime Minister Stuart Young confirmed that ex gratia payments would be made to the families of Kazim Ali Jr., Yusuf Henry Rishi Nagasar, and Yisal Kurban, who tragically perished after being sucked into a 36-inch pipeline while conducting underwater maintenance work. Survivor Christopher Budram, who managed to escape, will also receive compensation.
You would recall that Prime Minister Rowley, right here at Whitehall, had met with the families some months ago. I was there in the meeting as the Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Minister of Energy. We had the then Attorney General, Reginald Armour, with us as well, engaging with the families of the survivors, of those who lost their lives tragically in that incident.
Stated that the Cabinet had formally approved this decision after he kept them updated on the situation.
The Cabinet has today confirmed what I asked them last week, collectively and unanimously, that the government of Trinidad and Tobago is going to make an ex gratia payment, which means without any admission of liability, but recognizing the difficulty and the trauma and the tragic circumstances of these divers. And we're going to make ex gratia payments of $1 million to each of the families of the deceased divers and to Mr. Budram in an ex gratia manner without any admission of liability.
He also noted that the insurer for the respective companies involved, Paria Fuel Trading Company and Land and Marine Contracting Services, would have to determine liability for the tragedy. However, he emphasized that no amount of money could ever truly compensate for the loss and suffering endured by the victims' families.
I can't force the insurers, I can't force the lawyers to do something that we all knew as citizens of Trinidad and Tobago we would have liked to have been done a long time ago, which is to assist the families financially. It will never be enough to compensate them.
As promised, Sandals Executive Chairman Adam Stewart will visit Tobago to discuss a second attempt at the hotel investment. The announcement was made by Prime Minister Stuart Young during today's post-cabinet media briefing.
I'm happy to tell the population, as I've just been able to tell Chief Secretary Farley, that Mr. Stewart has agreed to come and meet with myself, the Chief Secretary Farley, and other stakeholders in Tobago on Monday, coming Monday the 7th.
Young said he also tried to reach PDP political leader and Assemblyman Watson Duke before the media briefing about the Sandals meeting, but was unable to get in touch with him. However, he assured the future efforts would be made to invite Duke. On the eve of his departure from office, former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley stated that the arrangements were being made for a second engagement with Sandals and called on both Augustine and Duke to attend the meeting with the regional hotel giant when the time comes. The first attempt to engage Sandals was halted in 2018 after some citizens raised concerns about the nature of the agreement. Both Augustine and Duke have since clarified that they were never opposed to Sandals, but emphasized that the investment must benefit Tobago significantly. In the meantime, Young issued a warning to Tobagonians.
So people of Tobago in particular, this is a fabulous opportunity. We need to learn from the mistakes of the past and not allow a few misguided naysayers stop the potential development of the economy of Tobago.
Young claimed that despite the original failed attempt, they have kept in close contact with Stewart, seeking opportunities for another try. With the near completion of the new airport terminal, the Prime Minister believes it's the right time to make another attempt. However, no further details were provided about the type of investment being explored or whether it is intended for the original site on the Buko Golden Grove estate. There's a little that can be done about the tariffs imposed by the U.S. government, according to Tobago Business Chamber Chairman Martin George. Yesterday, President Donald Trump announced a 10% baseline tax on imports from all countries, along with higher tariffs on several nations with trade surpluses against the U.S., potentially disrupting the global economy and sparking broader trade conflicts. George stated that Trinidad and Tobago is simply not large enough to retaliate effectively against the U.S.
It's not something that we as a small twin island nation can really attempt to do in any sense. This is a global, scenario, and there are much bigger players and much heavier hitters in the market than us. So we basically will be confined to, a reactionary scenario.
George noted that while the commerce in Trinidad and Tobago will be impacted by the tariffs, businesses will need to adjust their operations to reduce their reliance on trade with the U.S. However, he acknowledged that it would be difficult for many businesses to make this shift.
Where you have a company that is already operating on very thin or slim margins, it will be difficult to then, say, well, okay, where do we trim the fat? Because you may already be as lean as you could get. So, as I say, it's something that I can't see any major reaction or adjustment that we in Trinidad and Tobago could make.
According to George, Trinidad and Tobago will remain at the mercy of other major global players as the situation unfolds. Trinidad and Tobago was among the CARICOM members subjected to a 10% baseline tax, while Guyana faced the highest tariff in the region at 38%. Meanwhile, Trinidad and Tobago's neighbor Venezuela is facing a 15% tariff. We'll take a break and come back with more. Stay tuned.
It's the premier red carpet extravaganza. Tobago Fashion Coda is back with a bang, bringing with it quintessential style where runway meets rhythm. Come see the icons of Caribbean couture, showcasing the trailblazing fashions of Trinidad and Tobago. Tobago Fashion Coda 7 promises an unforgettable experience on the 18th of April 2025 at Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort, a premium all-inclusive fashion soiree where runway meets rhythm.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With AMPLIA TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with AMPLIA's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 GB fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With AMPLIA, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. AMPLIA. Do more, live more.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Center has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Welcome to the Buku Seafood and Jazz Festival on April 19th, 2025. We invite you to an evening of smooth rhythms and soulful music as the sun dips behind Buku Bay. Let all your senses be tantalized. Enjoy an array of seafood dishes, browse crafts and designs created by local artisans, and lose yourself in the soulful melodies of John Sakata, Brian McKnight,
It's undeniable that we should be together.
Bonnet Bigford,
When the lightning crack the waters and the waves roll and break.
Mikal Teja,
I go, without you, my life.
and the best of Tobago's talent. Get your physical tickets now. Tickets are also available online at islandetickets.com. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info or call 639-4441. The Buku Seafood and Jazz Festival, April 19th at Buku Integrated Facility. Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival 2025. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm.
Thanks for staying with us. During an audience held on April 2nd, the Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions advised that a 24-year-old man from Fort Bennett, Blackrock, is to be charged with the murder of 32-year-old Bernardo George, as well as possession of a firearm and possession of ammunition. George, who worked for a company contracted by Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission to clear lines, was murdered on March 25th during his lunch break at the Corlon Heritage Park. His death marked Tobago's third homicide for the year. Scarborough police were involved in a high-speed chase and shooting after responding to a stolen vehicle report on April 2nd. A 36-year-old man reported his red Mitsubishi Lancer PBW 1661 stolen from Yardi's garage. He had left it parked with the keys inside for pickup. Upon arrival at 8:29 p.m., the car was missing. At 9:15 p.m., police spotted the vehicle on Milford Road, Bonaccord. The driver sped off, leading officers on a chase. Around 9:35 p.m., the car crashed on Claude Noel Highway, hitting a Honda City and a Kia H100 van before flipping. Police reported a suspected pointed a firearm at them, prompting officers to return fire. Two suspects fled, one was caught nearby, while the other escaped. A third suspect was held at the scene. The captured suspects, ages 14 and 19, from Killigrew Bay Road, Canaan, were taken to the Scarborough General Hospital. One of the suspects is currently at the pediatric unit. Spent shells and other evidence were recovered. Investigations continue under ASP Lee Tang. A Standard 5 student at Golden Lane Primary School, suspected to be struggling with mental health challenges, has reportedly been posing a serious threat to the safety and well-being of both staff and students. A concerned parent who requested anonymity disclosed to Tobago Updates that the student has exhibited violent behavior in the past. According to the parent, the child has allegedly chased other students with a stick and beaten them, choked a teacher, and even engaged in a physical altercation with the school's security guard. The student has also reported claimed to be affiliated with the 6 and 7 gangs. Amid growing concerns, some teachers refused to attend school today, citing fears for their safety. The school's principal had previously suspended the student for similar incidents and later sought to expel him. However, she was informed that the expulsion was not an option. Now, both parents and teachers are pleading with the relevant authority to urgently intervene and find an effective solution to the situation. You are watching the Tobago Updates Television News. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Tobago Updates. More news after this.
You've heard a voice on the radio, seen her in your worship, and have sung her songs during your time of praise. Sinesh.
Everybody now, let's go!
Sinesh comes to Tobago for Melodies from Heaven on April 17th. The Shore Park Complex alights with praise and worship from 6 p.m. for Melodies from Heaven featuring Sinesh.
I shall not want the Lord has provided.
Samuel Maides.
You'll be the only one who's excited to call your name.
Positive.
Me never could have changed my mind.
Blessed Messenger.
Give God Jesus over your family.
Renee Fortune and many more.
From my head to my feet.
Get your physical tickets now. Tickets are also available online at islandetickets.com. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for more info or call 639-4441. April 17th at Shore Park Complex. Melodies from Heaven. Tobago Rhythm and Soul Festival 2025. Feel the beat. Embrace the calm.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Thanks for staying with us. Prime Minister Siot Young has accused the UNC of planning to devalue the TT dollar if they gain control of the government. Speaking at the PNM rally in San Fernando last night, he urged voters to reject the UNC in the upcoming general elections on April 28. Young warned that devaluing the TT dollar would have serious consequences for the country. More in this report from Candice Jackson.
Prime Minister Stuart Young is warning that the nation will face economic hardships if the UNC is voted into office on April 28th.
And I am telling you here tonight, and I have evidence, that their plan is a devaluation of the dollar is coming.
He said the evidence lies in statements made by opposition leader and the UNC political leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar during the 2019 budget debate, as well as policies outlined in a manifesto document.
A new UNC government will commit to the following: work with the central bank to ensure a competitive exchange rate. For those who don't understand what that means to devalue our dollar.
According to Young, the devaluation of the TT dollar has long been recommended by the IMF and the World Bank.
They've been saying to the PNM government, you cannot keep your dollar at 6.8, float it. For 10 years, this PNM government has fought tooth and nail to make sure this isn't done and to keep it at 6.80. So $6.80 TT for $1 US.
Young warned that if the UNC wins control of the government, citizens will face economic hardship.
They are going to devalue our dollars 15 to 1.
15 to 1.
This would mean higher costs for imported goods.
Flour costs right now $18.49. When they devalue it 15 to 1, it is going to cost $40.85. So from $18 to $40 for flour.
Young also accused the UNC of seeking IMF assistance to fund their promises to citizens, warning that this could lead to public sector layoffs, subsidy cuts, and higher taxes. Candace Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Last night, the People's National Movement hosted a public meeting in Mount Grace. Addressing supporters, Tobago East prospective candidate Ayanna Webster Roy and Tobago West candidate Shamfa Kajul-Lewis affirmed the PNM's commitment to the island's development. Reporter Joe Sheldon has more in this report.
PNM prospective candidate for Tobago West, Shamfa Kajul-Lewis, speaking at a public meeting in Mount Grace, claimed that a vote for the Tobago's People Party is effectively a vote for the United National Congress due to an alleged alliance between the two parties.
So, brothers and sisters, the TPP and the others like them need to tell us who they're going and team up with to form this government. Where they're getting the other 39 seats from. Yes? Nobody else but the UNC. So you have to be clear and honest and frank with us. Yes? And if you're so about forming this government, then who from the 39 friends you pick up from the UNC going and be the Prime Minister? Nobody but Kamala.
Kajul stated that the UNC failed to bring meaningful progress to the people of Tobago, emphasizing that actual development on the island took place under the People's National Movement.
We've brought you through independence, republicanism. We've brought you through so much development in education and in industrialization so we can enjoy this quality of life. It's about maintaining a solid economy so we can enjoy a better quality of life, not only for ourselves, for our little children. Brothers and sisters, mind your business.
Prospective candidate for Tobago East, Ayanna Webster Roy, stated that voting for the PNM is a vote for Prime Minister Stuart Young, whom she believes is the right leader to move the country forward.
Tobago East! Tobago East! I urge you all this evening to vote wisely. Vote for the team that has the people of Trinidad and Tobago at heart. Vote for the team that is competent to take this nation forward. Vote for a Prime Minister who has gone out there on the line, negotiated on our behalf, new contracts for oil and gas deals, and then the benefits going to come within a year or so. Vote for a team with the right type of leader.
She further stated that the PNM will always be the better choice compared to other candidates. She emphasized that the PNM has been instrumental in the continuous development of Trinidad and Tobago.
If you examine every candidate, every leader, every manifesto, at the end of your scrutiny, Team PNM will always come out on top. Because we built this nation. We created Trinidad and Tobago. We would have always stood in the gap for the people of this country. So you can rest assured that Team PNM will continue to work for you.
Joe Sheldon, Tobago Updates, Television News.
Vice President of the All Tobago Fisherfolk Association, Junior Kwashi, is warning fishermen to be cautious of rough seas and high winds if they plan to venture out. According to the TNT Met Office, seas are moderately rough, with waves ranging from 2.5 to 3 meters in open waters and 1 to 1.5 meters in sheltered areas. Kwashi is urging fishermen to take the warning seriously and follow the necessary precautions.
Let there be on the alert of the rough sea, the heavy wind blowing, secure the vessel properly. If you have to go to the ocean, please walk with what you have to walk with to bring you back to shore. Let fisherfolk know that our problem need to be solved by we first. Fisherfolk, I'm saying this to you all. Please secure your vessel. The wind is very heavy, the sea is very rough.
Warning comes as fishermen continue to face challenges in receiving assistance from the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard when they are in distress. The weather report is up next.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Now for a look at the weather update from the TNT Met office. Tonight is expected to be generally fair and at times breezy despite the odd shower. Tomorrow generally fair and at times breezy despite the likelihood of 1 or 2 light passing showers. Overnight will be partly cloudy with light to moderate showers developing in some areas. Daytime temperatures are set to reach 31 degrees Celsius with a heat index of 34 degrees Celsius. Seas moderate to rough with waves 2.5 meters to 3 meters in open waters and 1 meter to 1.5 meter in sheltered areas. Sunrise at 5:57 and sunset at 6:13. And that's how we end this evening's newscast. Here's a recap of the headlines. Government to pay 1 million ex gratia to AMPLIA, LMSCS tragedy victims, families and survivor. Prime Minister Young announces plans to meet with Sandals on Monday. Teen suspects held after police high-speed chase, and DPP orders charges against 24-year-old BlackRock man in Tobago's 3rd murder case. I am Bianna Brebner. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night.